Welcome back. Another beautiful day in the garden. And here we are potting up everything we've been sowing since February for the most part. We're going to start with the peppers, but over here I'll show you a few things we have going on besides the peppers. Made all my labels earlier. So we got our tomatoes, lemon basil, Genovese basil, Nicotiana, all our snapdragons. They all came in really good. Really happy with this Nicotiana. I can't wait to see what that looks like this year. And then this is going to take forever, this tray, but this is all marigolds here, and they all came up amazing. And then we have the alyssum, which I'm not going to pot up, but I am going to, the marigolds are not frost tolerant, so as far as I know. So once I get them potted up and back under grow lights inside, I can harden off the alyssum, which is a lot more frost tolerant, I've found. So we'll get to this last because that might be a tomorrow thing. As always, you're just trying to find the time you can to get done the stuff you need in the garden. It's not worth stressing about. You just continue on. So I'm not going to pot up all of these peppers like I had talked about before. I don't need all of them. I need like maybe a quarter of them for my use, and I'm going to give a few to friends and family. So I'll probably end up potting up about half them, like all the jalapenos, the Fresnos, Corno de Toros, Big Jims, and the Cubanelles I will pot up because people want them and I want some extras. But the Scotch bonnets and habaneros, I only need one each, and so I'll do two each. That way, in case something happens, always have redundancy, especially if you're the one doing it. It doesn't cost you anything. A couple cayennes for myself. You know, I need one serrano and one cherry pepper. I'll do two of each, just so, like I said, so I have some extras. So the way I've been doing this, again, I don't usually wet the soil first. You can. Especially in this purpose, because you're not sowing seeds, so you don't have to worry about things sticking to your fingers and everything, but it's just one extra step. You're going to water these later anyway. So what I'll do is I have all these ready to go. These will be for the peppers and the marigolds, pretty much everything. I have bigger pots for the tomatoes. Now they're pretty small still, but they just start to take off, and I found that it's easier to just get them going in this rather than put them in this and then a week or two later you're putting them in this anyway. Now, people will argue that it'll grow better in a smaller pot and then transition to a larger pot, but honestly, tomatoes get so huge by the end of the summer that it's never been a concern. So one less step, that's what we're going for here. The peppers will be fine in this until they go out. So we're like the middle of April right now, and these will be going out sometime in early May. Usually I try to shoot for May 1st, but like I've been saying, I'm about 2 weeks behind this year. So as long as I can get these in, they start putting on some good growth, and then I can start hardening them off. I do take the hardening off process more seriously with the peppers just because, you know, they're a little more wimpy until they get in the garden. Your spring stuff, like your peas and everything, they don't care so much. And all that stuff you saw we planted the other day, that's all doing good. We'll do a garden tour coming up soon once things start to establish a little more. And you can probably see these little trash cans here, AKA critter cages. These are the cabbages. I ended up putting those in the other day. You can find fancy critter cages online, but you can go to like the Dollar Tree and get those for like $1.25. Nothing's a dollar anymore, but something close to it. And I've had those multiple seasons, and that just keeps the squirrels from digging stuff up. That seems to be the main problem around here, but if you have rabbits, that might help as well. Another thing you can do, if it's really windy, we have a fence around our yard, so it kind of blocks a lot of the wind, but if it's really windy where you're at, you can just put like a little brick or a stone on top of it to keep it from blowing away. That's been super helpful. So let's get potting up. I'm not going to make you sit through all this potting up. I'm going to get some started, show you how I do it, and then I'll show you the result at the end here. So I just made all my tags up ahead of time. One thing I try to do in the garden especially, but you know, you do it a lot of things in life, is just get things organized first before you start going. So, you know, I got all my pots filled and ready where I need, all my tags made up, everything I need to start potting up is out here ready for me to go. I kind of think of it like when you're in the kitchen and get your mise en place in place, you know, you're not going to forget ingredients or be burning something because you're cutting something up. Everything's ready to go. So when you start cooking, you can just hit the road. And that's what I do with the garden too. And it's been really helpful. Just do it in parts. Get all your pots ready, make all your tags, bring all your stuff together, get it all ready, and then just go. Peppers, boom, done. Move on to the basil, move on to the tomatoes. And before you know it, you're all done with this process. This is one of the more tedious processes in the garden. Potting up, thinning stuff, and planting lots of little items like the onions, which I still haven't planted because it takes forever and I just haven't had time. These are the processes that just take a little longer, but the reward is worth it, especially when you have like healthy pepper plants. Sure beats spending $7 on a plant. I mean, there's probably like 60 plants in this tray. I don't know how much that is, but saved a lot of money. So I'm just checking the dogs out, making sure they're all right. Good job, Bart. Getting a drink of water. And Hugo's just laying in the grass. Good lads. All right, let's get started. So first one I have here is the cherry pepper. I only need 2 of these. He's right on the end here. So since I'm only taking 2 of them, I'm just gonna look through and see which ones look the strongest. Right off the bat, I see this guy looks the strongest and this guy looks the strongest. So we'll just push him out. Sometimes it helps to get it like a little bit vertical. I watered these this morning, so they might be a little loose, and they are. And then just kind of grab, don't pull too much though, especially, you wanna be gentle. After all the work you put into these guys, be careful with them. So I filled this up pretty full, don't need all that. So what I do is I kind of just do like a 2-finger method. I'll just come in about the depth I need, scoop out a decent amount. That's why I have a little bucket thing here. Move it aside and get him right in the middle. And then kind of just press him down. That looks pretty good. And then we'll just get some of the soil back on top. For a minute around. Put your little marker in. I don't mark every plant. Like on those snapdragons, I have 3 varieties over there. I'm not going to mark them all because I don't really care. I'll just plant them all out wherever, and however they come up, whatever color they are, it'll just be kind of a surprise. But for peppers, you do want to know like what you're planting where. Pepper plants tend to grow different. They're very unique in that. It's funny, like these habaneros and Scotch bonnets, they're the tiniest ones right now, but the plants get huge and they get real wide and bushy. Jalapenos can get pretty big. Fresnos I haven't tried before, so I don't know. Big Jims and Corno de Toros, they get real big too, but they get kind of tall. So they all grow a little different. You kind of want to plan for that. So there's your cherry. He's ready to go. We'll go on to the next cherry, which actually happens to be the one that has the tag in it. So we'll get him. And he's coming out real nicely. Again, just, I overfill. Push them down a little bit. Get the soil back in there. And then firm it down. And when we're all done here, and we have these all in their trays, I'll come in, I'll bottom water these real good so the water is pretty much absorbed at the top. And then I actually have some organic fertilizer. Been using this Neptune's Harvest. It's a fish and seaweed fertilizer. So the bag of Pro Mix, not too much nutrition in there. From what I can tell, like these things, a lot of my plants are looking like they need some nutrients big time. So the ones I put in the garden, the compost is going to give them all they need, but these guys are going to take a little more time to go out, so I will fertilize them this time since they're getting a new home. So cherry plant down, and then we'll just continue on. The only thing I wanted to note before I cut away here is with your tomatoes, so you can see they're pretty long and they're kind of floppy. You can really kind of bury them up to like the cotyledon, which is this little leaf here, which is eventually going to fall off anyway. And it'll grow roots out the bottom. So I usually bury these a little deeper. I don't really do that when I put them in the garden later. Like a lot of people will cut off the bottom leaves and bury them deeper. I don't think you really need to do that unless maybe your plants were a little neglected and you just want to give them a little more stability. That works. But when I do, oh, this one was an extra. Look at that, missed him. But when I pot them up, I do that because it just gives them a little more strength, lets the roots come out a little bit more in the very beginning. So something to note, if they're not too floppy, then like this, I wouldn't have to really do that with these, but I'm just going to anyway because I just know it gives them a little more strength. So that's what we'll be up to. This is gonna take, oh boy, well, I don't know, all these peppers, well, a good half of them. We're talking probably another 90 minutes or so, but it's a beautiful day out. I'm gonna turn some tunes on, cruise through this, and then I'll show you what we're left with at the end. So, all right, Hope you're out there enjoying your garden today too. All right, well, we made a lot of progress. Definitely didn't get done as much as I wanted to, but pretty much ended up where I thought I would. Marigolds aren't done. I was hoping to get the snapdragons done. Didn't get those done either, but all the peppers and tomatoes are done. So I'll give you a little show around of what we got done. And we'll try and knock out the rest this week, some nights after work here and there. We won't do a big session like this probably again until like next weekend. But that'll be more planning out in the garden again. The main potting on is gonna mostly be done by the end of this week. So, all right, so snapdragons still not done, but you know, they look pretty healthy, so I'm not too worried about it. And I might just try and harden them off now and just put them out in the garden, save myself a little effort. Nicotiana's all done though. Here and then over here as well. Got to get these guys watered in. We also have our artichokes done and our eggplants, which aren't looking too hot, but they'll bounce back. And this is the lemon basil over here. And then over here, we got all these guys getting bottom watered in. This is all our tomatoes, all our peppers, the Genovese basil, and more peppers. So you can see this is going to be, we brought 3 flats out. And we're going in with significantly more, and I still have to put 2 flats back inside. So the grow lights are going to get their use this last few weeks before everything can come out in the garden. But we're about set now. So I hope you all had a great day out in the garden. And until next time, get out there. It's time to garden.